In fact, I'm gonna take another bite.
Hey friends, this is Angela from Art of Creation Homestead. And you guys asked for it, so I'm gonna show you how to do it. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make that chocolate angel food cake that I said if you guys wanted to see it, to let me know in the comments below, and you guys let me know. So I'm about to show you how to make that delicious, killer chocolate angel food cake. So let's get started. In this bowl, we have 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Now, that's not going to be all the sugar. We have 3/4 of a cup more, but that's going to go in someplace else. We have 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder, and we have 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now, I am going to whisk this together and let my sugar work as an abrasive to break up all those lumps in the cocoa powder and in the cornstarch, because both of them are very lumpy ingredients. So, we got to break up those lumps. And sugar is the easiest way to do that. And it's even easier if you don't throw it all over the countertop, just like I just did. Wow. Like I've always said, a messy cook's a good cook, so I hope I'm a dang good cook, because sometimes I'm a dang messy cook. So now, to this, we are going to add 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. And you're going to whisk those together. You're going to whisk all those dry ingredients together. Because, you know, normally I would do this on wax paper, but because of the whole thing about needing to break up the lumps in the cocoa powder, I decided to do it in a bowl. Because it's much easier to whisk on a bowl than a piece of parchment paper or wax paper. Now we're done. Now we're going to set that aside. Now in the bowl of a stand mixer, you can also do this with a hand mixer, but it's much easier with a stand mixer. You could probably do this by hand, but it would be a heck of an arm workout. So I don't recommend it. We have 12 egg whites at room temperature, and to that we are adding 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and we are adding 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know I don't measure vanilla, so that's roughly measured vanilla extract. And if you were with us for the regular angel food cake in the Homestead Kitchen Skills, you will see a lot of similarities between the two, because it's made very similar. But you do have to cut down on the amount of flour when you add in that cocoa powder, because cocoa powder is a dry ingredient. So therefore you have to cut down on your other dry ingredients. So now we are going to turn on our mixer, and we're going to beat this just until it's frothy. Okay, now if you can see in that bowl, it's nice and frothy now. Now we are going to add this ingredient, which I told you in the other one. If you watched, then you know about this little ingredient. It's called cream of tartar, and it's a stabilizer. It helps stabilize those egg whites. So now you want to add in 1.5 teaspoons of that. Very important. Very important. Because without that, it's not stable and it's not going to do what you want it to do. Now you want to beat it to stiff peaks over on medium speed. Okay, as you can see by this peak right here, we have stiff peaks and it's very glossy. And that's what you're looking for. Now you're going to add the rest of that 3/4 of a cup of sugar, totaling 1.5 cups. But you're going to add that sugar 1/4 of a cup at a time. And you're going to do it while the mixer is on. But you want to do it on low. Okay, there's the first 1/4 of a cup. Now you want to up your speed to medium and beat it until you know it's all incorporated. Okay, now that quick, it's all incorporated. Then we're going to add in our last 1/4 of a cup with the mixer running. And then we're going to beat it until it goes back to stiff peaks. I nearly forgot to tell you, you need to preheat your oven. You need to preheat your oven at this point to 325 degrees. You want to bake this low and slow. That's how you get the best results with angel food cake. And as you can see, we're now back at stiff peaks. You know it's at stiff peaks because you see all those little peaks sticking up. And also, you can do this and nothing falls out. You could even hold it over top of your head and nothing will fall out. So now we are going to add in our dry ingredients. And just like I showed you with the regular angel food cake, you want to do that in a third of the mixture at a time. And fold it in very slowly, very evenly. Now we're going to add about a third of our dry ingredients, including our glorious cocoa powder. That's going to make this nice and chocolatey. And this is wonderful with strawberries, by the way. Now, you want to fold. You want to take down the middle, take it to the bottom, bring up, fold over. Turn, take it down the middle, take it to the bottom, bring up, fold over. Turn. You want to keep doing that until that third is all mixed in, because you don't want to leave any streaks with this one because you are adding chocolate. So needless to say, adding chocolate to it, you will end up with marbled pieces if you don't stir it in good. So you want to make sure you stir it in good. I don't know why I keep saying stir it in good. You don't want to stir it, you want to fold it. You want to be gentle with it. It's delicate, people. You want to be gentle with it. Like it's a newborn baby bird. Now we're going to add our second third. And we're going to fold that in. And then we'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like when all of it is folded in. Now it's all folded in. And you can see this looks a little different. It is still nice and fluffy, but you'll notice it deflates a little bit. That cocoa powder does cause it to deflate a little bit. So you're not going to get as tall of a chocolate angel food cake because it does deflate. The cocoa powder does tend to deflate it just a little bit. It's going to be a little shorter of an angel food cake, but I promise you, the cocoa powder makes it worth not being as tall. So now we have our angel food cake pan, just like I showed you in the other video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link up here somewhere, floating in the sky. An angel food cake pan has a removable tube. You can do this in just a regular tube pan as well. This just makes your life a little easier. I'll leave a link in the description below for one of these pans. They're not that expensive either. So now you want to take your batter and you want to pour it into your pan. Make sure you pour it evenly all around. And if you see any specks that looks like it's marbled, just kind of mix it in. Although the marbled pieces are very pretty, actually. Sometimes you can't help but get that little marbled piece. And they're actually very pretty. Now you want to give it a little shake to even it out. You want to give it a little shake. Now we are going to take a knife, just a regular butter knife. See, just a regular butter knife. You're going to run it around the edges. Now you do not want to grease this pan because actually with angel food cake you want stickage. You want it to stick. That's what helps it to rise and climb. Now you want to work it in and out to bring any of those huge air bubbles to the top so that they will pop. Because otherwise you're going to end up with holes in your angel food cake. And that's not exactly what you want. So once you get that all done, now we're going to give it another little shimmy shake until it's all evened out in the pan. Now, see these little drips? You want to clean those up because those will burn. So you do want to take a minute to clean those up. Now is the true test. Now you will see just how much air you was able to keep in those egg whites by how high it rises. But like I said, remember, this is not going to rise as high as a regular angel food cake because that chocolate does keep it down just a little bit. But let me tell you, it's so worth it. So this is going to go in a 325-degree oven. Like I said, remember, low and slow. And it's going to go in there until you touch the top of it and it springs back. It won't leave, because if it's not done, it's gonna leave fingerprints. I'll show you what it looks like when it's out of the oven. Okay, as you can see, it's out of the oven. And when you push on it, it springs back. Doesn't leave fingerprints, it springs back. Now this doesn't take as long to bake, and as you can see, it didn't rise as high, but it still rose beautifully. It doesn't take as long to bake. This only took 35 to 40 minutes. To be oddly specific, mine took about 36 minutes. Now, just like I told you with the regular angel food cake, there's a very specific way you want to cool this. You can just cool it regular, but it doesn't cool as well. You want to cool it upside down. Now, if you have a bottle that will fit in this hole, you can just flip it upside down on a bottle. But I don't have that. Most people don't have that. So, what we are going to do, everyone has cans of food. You want to put one on each corner. And if you're a little afraid it's going to fall, put one in the middle for security. And flip it upside down on those cans. Now, you just want it to sit there. Now it's going to sit there and cool upside down like this for 1.5 hours. I promise you it's not going to fall. Now, didn't I tell you? Didn't I promise you it was not, that the regular one was not going to fall? And it didn't fall. This one's not going to fall either. In 1.5 hours, I will show you how to unmold it from the pan. I'll see you when it's ready. Didn't I promise you that this would not fall out of the pan? Well, let's prove it. Look at there. It didn't fall out of the pan, and it looks beautiful. So now, we're just going to run a knife around the outside. You want to run it all the way to the bottom to unmold it, and you want to be sure and run it around the middle as well. Now, because this is a 2-piece pan, you should be able just to raise up on it and pull it out. There you go. Isn't that gorgeous? So now, if yours is stuck to the pan, you will take a knife and you will slide it around it like this. Just like I showed you with the other one. You'll slide it around the bottom to release it. But mine wasn't really stuck that much. So we're just going to pull it off. And there you go. Now, there's your chocolate angel food cake. Doesn't that look delicious? And we'll show you just how delicious it is when Jason gets home and it gets dessert time and he can try it.
Okay, so I get the pleasure of tasting this beautiful chocolate angel food cake. Oh, so good. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it's right here. Well worth the effort. In fact, I'm gonna take another bite, but after I send you guys away. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. So my name is Jason. That's Angela K over there. It's our Creation Homestead. We love you guys. God bless you. Goodbye.